Hello and welcome to the show. Straight into the pistol round, Tricked versus Preparation. First map in a best of 2, and it is going to be Cobblestone. Trick starting on the CT side. A little bit late starting the game, but we finally made it. So Preparation, JUGi, facecrack, JUGi, and Patron. I do wonder if that is the real name. Versus HUNDEN team. Haven't seen them in a while. They're in actually a potential position to stop Godsent from qualifying at the moment. So we'll see how they do. That's a good start so far on the CT side. 2 players down to Preparation. JUGi's getting a frag, but the bomb's been lost. Arch taking down JUGi elsewhere.
Yeah, I respect to see Zed on the pistol round. That's always fun. Okay, this is a little bit awkward. Bomb stuck. It's stuck. It's stuck in connector, and they need to go and retrieve it. Not the easiest task. Honestly, I don't know where you begin in a round like this. Trying to re-enter back through 2 tight choke points. Well, Arch finds his timing. Not looking good though. Tagged down to 10 now. He needs 2 instant pops. 2 one-shots. That's the way that he wins this round, and that's not going to happen. Tricked, secure it. Nicely done, and that will be good economy for them. And of course, Niko. It's not Mousesports Niko. Not Bosnian Niko. He is Danish Niko.
So Patron is Patron. That is his name. Patron. Or is it Patron? Patron? Whatever.
Patron, mate.
Full armor for the CT side. Many players going towards A, it seems. We may see pop flash, although Trick seemed prepared. We've got JUGi holding a Molotov in his hand, just in case, and there it is, deployed immediately. Tricked, attention to detail, always good to see. The entire Preparation team is over towards A, but JUGi is waiting late, and it seems they're going to abandon ship. And again, Trick's very prepared for an anti-eco. That's what we like to see. Svistov doing some damage, going to keep people over towards A. However, there are 2 towards B, 1 drop and 1 getting that early peek over towards the plateau. As you can see, HUNDEN going for the wide peaks. So, Preparation have decisions to make. Putting 3 over towards B now. Still tricked in forward positions on both sides. HUNDEN repositioning now. So JUGi, he may try to cut off rotators. However, the Shadow will give his position away. Still no rotation from the CT side. They've got good information. But maeVe's down to 1 HP.
Oh god. Poor maeVe. Doesn't manage to survive. He will be avenged. I think that's okay as well. I mean, Tricked, they know they're up against Niko now. One of the players who died can buy up an MP9. Potentially. They got some Tech 9s out of it. Generally, they will be quite happy. Preparation. Let us see how prepared they are.
Oh dear. It's too early for this crap.
Oh, I have to get it out of the way with early. And then you get it out of your system straight away. It's the best way to do it. So Preparation will make their way towards B with their pistols, their very inferior Glocks, and just a few P250s. Funnily enough, Addy League, we did see round 1 this way versus Rifles when the T side rushed to Plateau and managed to kill 5 CTs who all had Rifles, despite them themselves having no Kevlar.
Anything is possible, Dan, if your heart is in the right place.
That is proof of it. Although maybe you have to be playing a team from NA, I don't know. For stuff like that weird to happen. But Preparation kind of biding their time, delaying the inevitable.
Inevitable. I think we should just wait and watch in silence, Dan. I think we should do that.
Is that what you want?
Well, now there's something to talk about. HUNDEN getting taken down. There are 2 players here. Make it 1. maeVe was low. No. Again, he's not having the best time in terms of HP. The rotation is here for 2 men at very least, and they should be able to stop the plant from going down unless JUGi can close the distance. Taken by surprise. Straight in the face. Niko not going to like that one. There is a flank coming in from JUGi. They know where he is now. Bomb still in control of Preparation. 25 seconds though. They need to take ECS tag out. He's the low health player at the moment, but JUGi and Patron going to take close down the distance. They don't have time to rotate, so it's ECS to try and hold this down. Putting the work onto Patron. He's got 24 HP, make it 4 HP! 9 seconds, they just need one bullet. One bullet will do the job here for UB. That Deagle. Oh, that was so awkward. That Deagle would have taken down either of them. And indeed, Dan, what were you saying before?
Why? 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 It wasn't as bad as the other one. Because the other one was, there was 5 CTs all on B with 4 rifles and everything. But that was still pretty bad. There are 3 P250s, 2 Glocks, and then nothing. And they win the round. How is this allowed to happen? Well, either way, they do have just enough to buy up, do Trick to try to stop this situation from unfolding in a way which is any further degree to their detriment. But they must be raging after that. They must be raging.
Got to move on. Got to move on with FAMASs and UMPs. That is a nice boost, actually. Not a very common angle. Normally you see people boosted on the box on the right. FaceCrack getting some tracer kills there, perhaps. And that's a nice man advantage for preparation. They've got over a minute on the clock, and they've still got good map control with respect of having players over towards both sites. So a flank is not going to be possible. You know, maybe Trick to go for some aggression over towards A while all that action was happening towards B, but no such play. Although preparation looks prepared for it, no pun intended. Now ECS going to have to look for some information. Catches Patron looking the wrong way, but there's only so much he can do. Pop flash coming in, and he's going to get... That's really, really nice. Isolates Patron. Other 2 players too far behind to do anything about it. Get fully blind as well. I mean, Patron had enough time to see the flash. Didn't call it, perhaps.
And this is a really important match for Godsent for preparation to win, basically, because Tricks are in a position where they could take over or just retain a more or higher spot and prevent Godsent from qualifying. So very important for Godsent that preparation, able to go to win against Tricked, and in they go against maeVe. Bomb does go down in the end, but it's looking like Tricked are fairly comfortable here. However, with the situation as it is, UB, if you can just get some extra damage in, I think preparation should be buying next round regardless. UB does get the extra kill in the end. So if we have a quick look at the money, we will be able to see the situation here. And indeed, you can see that preparation. They're going to have that $1,400 loss bonus, but then on top of that, they're going to get $800, so $2,200. And with a couple players over 5k, I think they should absolutely be buying here with the amount of damage that they did. Because they can, I mean, as a tease, there's much more argument for it because you can tailor-make rounds for the equipment that you have. So if you have a weakness and let's say, oh, we can't get that many rifles, but we can get lots of pistols and lots of grenades, then you can tailor a round specifically for those strengths. And, I mean, one of them could have actually bought an AWP here, for example, but they decided to go with 2 rifles, a bunch of pistols and grenades, and a fast set piece on B, seemingly.
Initial Molotovs coming out for preparation to make sure that the CTs can't get up towards the platform. But look at the damage taken by JUGi in this situation. That is quite painful for him. 3 of these 5 players on pistols. And they'll hear grenades being deployed. So Niko going to be prepared for the counter grenade. Down goes JUGi, no answer because the rest of his team are behind the smokes. Niko flash, but he can buy this time. Spots the player, FaceCrack coming in. Headshot though, too many flashbangs coming his way. 3 HP for FaceCrack. He can try and go from front in this smoke. Going for it close to the platform instead. And he will manage to do that. So worst case scenario is being ticked off. More damage being done. That's 2 versus 2. Arch still with a Tech 9. But very dangerous with that. He's still close to these players as well.
Yeah, that position, that might go unknown if Tricked aren't careful as they get deeper and deeper. S-Tag does look like he's fairly aware of it. Now the player has been spotted in that position. Arch is known, but the trade comes in, so now things get really, really awkward here for S-Tag. As he goes for the tap there, doesn't have a kit. This is very, very terrible. It's looking like his chances to win the round are diminishing rapidly as time ticks away. Oh, just playing the hide and seek game. Arch will win the round. Wow. And beautiful preparation. Just, I was a little bit worried for them because they went for the... I was worried that they would overcommit with the initial grenades when they were rushing because all the counter grenades came in immediately from Tricked as they tend to. And Preparation did take quite some damage there, so I was a little bit worried for them that they wouldn't be able to find a way in, but they managed to do it. And Trick now are in a lot of trouble because obviously Preparation are taking a lot of momentum, or could potentially take a lot of momentum, so long as they don't fall to this round. So it's their turn now not to mess up against, or mess up in an anti-force buy type round.
Somewhat standard setup from the CT side in a situation. And Trick's not having a good time around these smokes, getting tagged on buys and non-buys over towards the B plateau. So it seems Preparation know their angles in that regard. 4 players for Preparation moving over towards the A site, making use of the time they have. And it seems jmqa will be making sure no shenanigans are happening over towards the B bomb site, but also showing some presence there when necessary. See some initial flashes from Preparation towards A. 2 players there on the CT side. Some players have Kevlar and a helmet, and that may make the difference if they can get the right engagements. Although it looks like those 2 CTs are somewhat exposed, kind of stuck in the middle. There's nobody on the low ground though to take them out right now. I do wonder if the scout could wallbang through there.
It's time to go in and face Crack. Ooh, well, living up to his name. 2 players left. Nice approach here from Preparation. It's been really nice to see the level of their anti-force buy here, quite methodical. And these are names we're familiar with. I'm having a mental block on what the team was called. Sorry?
No, nothing.
What the team was called, because that was FaceCrack, Ubik, and jmqa. I can't remember what that team was called from before.
I think we played their staff before.
What was the team name? I'm forgetting, because they were always like a kind of a tier 2 in a Russian team that sometimes they would be able to take a map away from somebody or something, but you never really would see much else than that. But they've been around. They've been around with at least those 3: FaceCrack, Ubik, and jmqa. I'm trying to remember now who the other 2 were as well. It's been a while, but yeah. So it's not too incredibly surprising for me to see them show that they have a bit of skill in all the areas that make a good CS team: strategy, tactics, individual skill, metagame, leadership, and so on. Although I'm not sure who their leader is currently. But they're going to be making their way rapidly down the B plateau. We actually had a bit of a boost there, I think, in towards drop zone from the CTs to pick up an early kill. But that's where it's going to end.
CT side in an awkward position. They don't know that there's a flank coming in as well, so you might think maybe want to save this armor and AK. He manages to get the flank, actually. Oh, what? Oh, how's everyone died? To a pistol! JUGi and maeVe with 2 kills each, but now they're both taggable. And El Patron has picked up an AK. So this is winnable for both sides now. AK versus AK, both players with armor. maeVe just waiting. He could just wait until he hears a plant. But Patron still has time to rotate if he wants to. maeVe realizing this, perhaps moving to an even more passive position. It seems Patron will use the time he has available to him. And there we go. That's the information maeVe needs. Smartly walking through the smoke as the bomb gets planted, but it hasn't come out of the bloom just yet. So this is anyone's. I don't know where they both are. maeVe around the rock, but he's exposed, and Patron's going to shoot him straight in the face. It was amazing that Trick suddenly got into that situation in the first place, but Preparation just about survived.
Yeah, and I like how he threw the deep smoke, because there's so many options there. One of the advantages that he has is the smoke. And there's so many ways of throwing it. Do you throw it close to give yourself an unknown position on the site? Or do you try to throw it deep, as he did? Or do you try to throw it more to an angle towards the right to block off that avenue, forcing you to left? There's so many different spots for it, but we have to hold that fort for now as we do another fast play coming in from Team Preparation. Back onto the B rush. Seems to be a bit of a favorite for them. No matter the situation, it's been delivering. Just going to be JUGi left, and JUGi's in a very bad spot. It's going to have to fall back, try to save the AWP. Wow, well, I was not ready for that super fast round. I don't think Tricks were either. Incredibly fast pace, and that's going to be another round for preparation. This is starting to get a little bit scary for Tricks because they can't seem to stop these B plays. Because even when, let's say, they get into close situations, that's kind of a problem as well. You can't always, because that means that preparation are getting into the bomb site, they're getting positioning, they're getting an opportunity to plant. That means that Tricked are not defending correctly on the B bomb site, or they're not handling that correctly. They're having too many issues with it. So preparation don't really need to do too much different. They can play defaults, they can threaten towards A and always go back to B at different timings. I mean, that could be something that they could go towards again and again until Tricked can prove that they can actually adjust.
So the money's been ruined on Tricked once again. And indeed, this does look pretty bad at the moment. This is not the kind of CT start that you need on a map such as Cobblers. So we will watch and find out if he gets any better for them. JUGi going for an aggressive peek. Oh, too many targets. I mean, his crosshair was close to the guy he was facing. So I think it would have been better to just go for him straight away. Either way, he's still alive. Man down for both sides, and the preparation looks to be moving fast into the B bomb sites. Only 3 plays here for the CTs because one is still over towards A. Not convinced it's going to be B just yet, perhaps. Now the flank starts from him. But Trick, this is going to be a hard retake. And again, JUGi 13 HP, still carrying the AWP because he's the man with armor, presumably. Might want to make an exit. He's in connector, so he doesn't want to commit unless his team can bring out some frags, because obviously Trick will want to save that AWP. So that AWP may be the deciding factor because they're in a more passive position and they don't have a defuse kit. It might be that they 2 weapons now. Now Eastag just should run away. I think it's more important at this point for him to save weapons than it is for him to kill opponents. jmqa's on the hunt. Even if Eastag goes down in this situation, they might save a fair few weapons. That's not bad for Trick. They did a lot of damage as well. Only jmqa surviving. So that's going to be a good pressure on the T economy, despite the success that the Ts are having.
It's cool too because I think preparation is showing that they have quite some routine on this map. I mean, they kind of, like I was talking about in the previous round, they basically went for another B play. They just changed how the open looked, but it all ended up the same. And they've shown also initially a very strong anti-force buy rather, towards the A bomb site. So they might start going towards that again now, as we can see a lot of players of preparation moving towards the A side of the map, where there is currently only 1 player. And you know, typically you expect the CTs to have 4 players towards B early in the round to deal with those fast rush timings. But just to mess with Tricked, after conditioning them to all those B plays, having a super fast timing on A would be really fun. This is not a super fast timing, but it is going to work out. Nice opener from facecrack, and that's going to cause a rotation.
A full rotation, no less. All the CTs trying to stream in. Only 1 player is by the APC. I think the Cs have seen him. Double Molotov coming in. Facecrack going to crack his face bomb. niko, last man standing now. Tricks can't defend anywhere, it seems. niko left to run away. Tail between legs. Unhappy dog. And one would assume those talk sounds means there is a tactical pause coming in. 3-7. This is a disastrous start for Tricked. Doesn't he? Does he? He does. How do they?
It is. They are kind of breaking down all over the place, aren't they? I mean, they can't seem to defend A or B. There doesn't seem to be an upside to anything so far. So and they've even lost. They lost a round against 3 PT50s and 2 Glocks when they had a bye.
That is less than ideal, then.
On top of everything else, so it is indeed a Tricked tactical pause, and my oh my, do they need it? But where do you begin? where do you begin with this? Do you decide to change positions? I mean, you can't really get aggressive, so you have to basically say, you know, what is the problem right now? This is basically just like they're running a virus scan, trying to find the malware, remove it, because there is a problem somewhere. Is it somebody missing their shots? Is it lack of some position getting pop flashed in. I don't even know where to begin. They can't hold anything on this map so far.
Yeah. Even it's weird. They've tried to have more aggressive holdings even behind the smokes over towards B plateau, and they've repeatedly been shot through. Excuse me, not having a good day today. It seems with my asthma. Repeatedly been shot through the smoke, so that's not going well for them. When preparation push onto the site, they can't hold. A is being overwhelmed. It's difficult. I'm curious to see what they will decide to do in response to this aggression. But importantly, they've saved an AK and an AWP from previous rounds. So there we go. Nice deep smoke, which may help, but this is something you see every so often from CT sides, but it's still not something you can hold for an extended period of time. So ECS looking to respond after flashes go in towards the drop. It's an interesting approach to that area. It is a headshot angle for both sides. I'm not sure if facecrack would have seen anything there. Preparation, minute 15 on the clock. Haven't really played or shown any of their hand yet in this particular round. So Tricked don't really know what to expect at the moment. Although it seems they're leaning towards a B play with only one person in A. And JUGi's in a vulnerable position because he's looking at the low ground and the high ground, but he's kind of looking at the low ground and he's kind of looking at the high ground. The only thing he's seen is a flashbang, which will cause him to rotate. He has ECS for support as well, but Tricked won't know what's going on until very late. And let's bear in mind, preparation still have a player deep towards B. So if anybody starts to try and get information for Tricked, they may get picked off. And who knows if that will cause a rotation. JUGi going in for a big smoke grenade.
I like this. This is really cool. They're trying to fake, basically trying to go for an A fake, hold the rotation towards A, and go for the B push. This is really cool. Actually shows you the level of work that preparation have on this map. It doesn't look like it's paid off at all. That means they're going to have to shoot their way out of this situation. But it was a nice thought, at the very least. In goes JUGi, jumping down onto the bomb site. So many CTs all over the place. Finally, looks like Tricked might have a round, unless... Well, okay, the time. That took it. That was a good point. That took a long time for preparation there. It did seem that that smoke missed as well, because I think it should have gone to the doors, and it was on the slope.
Yeah, I was thinking, is it gonna bounce off the stair? Because that's a very specific smoke if it does. Though it didn't bounce, unfortunately. So I'm guessing Tricked to a preparation rather, but waiting for a pick. In that situation, waiting for someone to overextend, but it never came, and then they ran out of time once they went to plan A. Didn't go to plan. So that's a good boost for Tricked. Now we'll see if they can get anything else going. And again, they've got 4 people over towards B, and JUGi playing alone, looking at 2 places at the same time, excuse me.
At this point, you don't even, I don't think, if you're a fan of preparation, you don't even want them to go for elaborate plays like that. What they have been doing has been working, and it's been simple. Just move in, you're hitting the shots more consistently than your opponent. Your coordination's been pretty on point, got some nice nades behind it. Just keep doing that, just as we're seeing this round, as they progress up into an A split. And, ooh, 2 players, if there's a Molotov at the back of the site, that's going to cause a lot of problems. That causes problems as well.
There goes the Molotov. ECS forced forward, being burned from behind. Frag going away to CTs though, another frag. Oh, the 2-man spray down, that's glorious! Gonna get traded, but he's under work. And HUNDEN's just charging through the smoke on his own 3 versus 1. And he's gonna make it work. Headshot to JUGi, so Tricked survive in numbers, but ECS with a great individual play. Although, credit to his teammates for the flashbangs coming out, but holding down the site on his lonesome. Very, very important for Tricked.
The interesting thing there as well is, I wonder if preparation will actually realize that they actually had advantages there, because even though the round ended into like this 5 versus 2 for Tricked, I think preparation got themselves into very good position, very strong positions. They just were a little bit unlucky in that particular instance. So that's definitely a round that they can go back to in the future. They should not be discouraged by how that played out in the end. And that is a skill in of itself, you know, assessing. How did this really go? Did we get into advantageous positions and still lose the round? Okay, well that means that maybe we can still do that. That doesn't mean that it doesn't work. So that said, B has worked for them quite often as well. So will they go back to some B? They've got presence towards A at the same time. So right now it's a little bit obscure for Tricked as to what preparation want to do. Is this really... Is he up? Oh, wow, that is crazy. You don't often see a CT in this position.
Yeah, I think that just shows the desperate measures Tricks are being forced to go to get an advantage here against a tough T-side preparation. Hansen pushing through as well. 2 kills for him. They're putting up the big numbers here, these CTs. They're delivering. And now it's Patron versus 2, 40 seconds. I'm not sure if maeVe can hear the run into B from his position of Patron. But the Molotov will tell the story. He wants to even up the numbers at the very least before he gets the bomb down. He's got a bit of time to do this. But there's going to be blind spots now because he can't unscope if he doesn't want to give his position away. Which is why he opts for the Tech 9. Nicely done. JUGi misses the shot. He's going to run to A. Oh, this is genius. But maeVe surely knows he hasn't got time. He's not going to get to him before he makes the cross to the site. So the bomb is going to get planted. The open plant as well. So we go back down as well. Both players know where they are. And Patron, he needs to deliver. He's not the one of the M4. He's got 1 bullet, 1 chance in 3 places. Is he high? Is he left? Is he right? maeVe just biding his time for the time being. Oh, the helmet shows. The shoulder piece. This is really hard for Patron. He can't do much. He can bait shots, but there are more shots to come because he's got an M4A4. That is super awkward. And maeVe will manage to win the round for his team. Pick up the AWP as well. Getting a reasonable score on the board now, are Tricked.
The weird thing, though, is that should have been a 1 versus 3. It's one of those spots where players get into this like bloodlust mode, where it's like, oh, I got a frag, let's get another frag. Oh, I got another frag. Let's just keep going then. Even ignoring the fact that okay, you've done your job. You're 1 versus 3 now. The guy's got an AWP. He doesn't really have anywhere to go, and by removing and going for another challenge and risking your death at that point, you really put your teammates in an awkward position. As a 1 versus 2 is very different to a 1 versus 3. So it happens.
That is the longest grenade I think I've seen thrown in the game of any use. Headshots being delivered from both sides, and preparation not committing to the B bomb site rather just yet. Arch is in an interesting position. Not sure if the CTs realise this, but they don't have anybody in the drop, so they have to assume it's compromised at this point and play around that. No one's going to go for investigation. They don't really have all the grenades in the world to do that with. And again, JUGi's in a vulnerable position over towards A. Looks the wrong way at the wrong time, and he could get his head taken off. So now it seems ECTag and maeVe will start pushing into the drop zone. ECTag will spot Arch just in time. And with niko's forward position, they should start rotating towards A, but will they get there fast enough?
Looks like it's not going too well here for preparation. First shot connected by JUGi. There's more to come. Not really too much for JUGi to do in this position. CT's all over the place, and JUGi will hold strong with the 3K. 7-7. Preparation have been stopped in their tracks. And Tricked could even win the half at this rate, which would be quite a nice turnaround. I feel like it's a shame, though, that preparation started to make things a little bit more complicated, especially after the timeout, but it is what it is. And it's down to the Tech 9s again. They've had a lot of success with this. Previously, when they had success, they went fast, and then waited out the counter grenades, then went slow, and then went fast again. So let's see how the pace works out in this round. Had the initial fast push. They are looking like they want to go in straight away, though. And there's a CT deep at the end of Plateau.
Oh, the nade through, the Molotov through the smoke's going to be a problem. HUNDEN's blind, HUNDEN's dead, niko's below him. Can he hold? There are so many Tech 9s to deal with. That HE's going to definitely help. JUGi getting taken down. There goes the bomb as well. So far so good. niko putting in more work, traded, more trades. JUGi goes down, and it's Arch alone versus 2. He's got smokes to play with, and 1:10 on the clock. He can completely abandon the site. Finds JUGi, tries to spray him down. There we go, finally taken down through the corner of the statue. But he has no idea where maeVe spots him, but not fast enough. And that will be the last round. Tricked lead at the end of the first half.
Unlikely finish to the half, I've got to say, after the way it started. So Tricked finding some form towards the end. It started out where they could not hold A, they could not hold B, they could not hold against blocks. But
They
now
could not hold that.
Now the transformation after the timeout has worked out well for them. So moving into the T side, you'd expect Tricked, I think, to start to be able to play a little bit better. I think T side Cobblestone is always going to be a bit more comfortable. You should assume that these days any team worth its salt should have the basic set pieces for both bomb sites to execute. And should things go poorly for Tricked here on preparations map pick, Cobble, they will be moving into Nuke, which is their map pick, and Nuke is still the newest. I mean, it's the latest edition. A lot of teams are still fairly unprepared on Nuke, so it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works between these two teams when we get there. But now it's time for the pistol.
In that sense, it's good that there isn't another major this year, because there's more time for people to develop Nuke for the next major. Indeed, it is the pistol. HUNDEN is going to be the nade man for Tricked. Preparation, all Kevlar, no kits, no nothing. Just headshots is what they're looking for. Headshots, which are very common indeed. On a pistol round. Now we'll see if Tricked are going to try and identify the setup of the CTs, which is very interesting. 4 people towards A, 2 long, 1 mid, and 1 to potentially rotate and have a look at connector. And JUGi's been left alone, lots on his shoulders over towards the B bomb site, where Tricked are mostly hanging out. Arch spotting, it might be baiting, he's going to go down, but again, he's got a player in for support in jmqa. He could take these plays by surprise, and facecracks are coming in as well. HUNDEN somewhat stuck, and this may lead the charge towards B for the remainder of Tricked, as there's an instant flank coming in from preparation. We've got a Patron around the connector area. He's going to get 1 frag over there. The bomb is rolling down to his feet, and he's going to run out of bullets. Surely can't reload in time. 2 players remaining for Tricked.
So it's going to be quite interesting to see now if JUGi can get the shots off, because he's in a great position here. Look at this one. With that USP, better ranges, has the box to play with, delaying them so much. He doesn't get any frags here, but okay, there finally there's going to be a frag as Easter runs into his position, but that's the problem. JUGi can't plant the bomb. He's going to have to hit the shots now. Oh, he's hitting the shots. That is interesting now. Facecrack, he's got 15 seconds to hold on now. JUGi has to plant the bomb. Facecrack's really close. JUGi has to move forwards. He can't be just playing this game where he's waiting for his opponent to peek. He's got to plant, and there it is. And it's not going to be safe. Got to go for the frag now. Or we can maybe get the frag. Oh, no, he doesn't pick the right direction. Oh, dear. I feel like some lack of decisions being made there by JUGi, in time at the very least. Cost him that one, potentially. Nice recovery initially, though, getting the frags to go to 1 versus 1, but it will be a preparation pistol.
T's going for the 4th buy for the most part, save for Niko with just a deagle. Moving early towards A. Preparation with standard numbers towards A and B. No hard reads on this, so we'll just see what comes and then deal with it accordingly, or at least try to. jmqa over towards long A, playing it passively, playing in a position where he can have some opportunity to rotate backwards. He hears him running, and he'll drop a nice nade. Raises his lump for his teammate. There's a full rotation coming in for the CTs. Bit of a crossfire for the CTs with Patron's position around the balcony. 1 man down so far. More flashes coming in, and the crossfire will pay off. Now the bomb is in absolute no man's land, and people continue to get eliminated. Easter tag surely can't do much. Arch looking in case there's a flank. maeVe last man standing. 3 players have gone down for the T side now. He's picked up a FAMAS. So his position's paid off for a brief moment, but he will get wrecked by facecrack. An expensive round preparation, but they win the round.
Yeah, no shenanigans like the previous anti-force buy after the pistol. Tricked. What do they do? Okay, full save, only 1 PT50. Okay, well, would expect them to just run and gun, and then promptly die. Death is assured. They'll make it swift. It'll be a swift death.
Death is never assured that.
It'll be
as
painless.
we've seen on multiple cobblestones. Okay, maybe death is assured.
It is quick and painless.
It's a matter of time.
Preparation have mercy. They are merciful. Okay, so Patron with the AWP, and I am quite curious to see how he's going to play that one. Is he going to go for the push on a long? And Tricked themselves, will they be looking for that with JUGi? It is something that we've seen lately go amiss for a lot of teams. They've not been checking that, or well, this round though, Tricked are putting the majority of their players towards A, but the AWP of Patron is on A long as well, so he's playing fairly passively. He's got a defensive setup with a teammate. Like to see this. JMqa, as you can see, is the man.
He's the man. He's the Fonz.
The man.
Is he the Fonz?
Does he have a quiff?
Is he the man?
Quiff in a leather jacket. I have both those things, but I'm not suave enough to be compared to the fonts.
Minute 14. Now it's minute 13. Now it's minute 12. Back to you, Dan.
So waiting for the pop flash now, I guess, for Tricked. Where's the pop flash at? You got to pop flash the AWPer, then you can kill the guy on the right. Nope. Where's the flash? There should always be a flash there. James, there was no flash.
There was no flash, Dan. But it seems that they have a read as to a potential crossfire situation. Support for the AWPer, so to speak. HUNDEN. He's going to look the wrong way. He's going to look the right way. He's going to look the wrong way. But the support for JMqa, he's been sold down the river. He's been betrayed. He's been backstabbed. FYI, I am a spy. Face crack. Oh my god. I was scared he wasn't going to see the barrel of the gun immediately. Either way, oh, FaceCrack's in trouble now. The smoke, though, the smoke, he's going to survive courtesy of a smoke. MP9 will prevail. maeVe, can he get the bomb down? He's looking for more frags. He wants to win the round. The bomb plant is not enough for him. But he's running out of time to even go for a fake in this situation. He's committing. No, he's going to go for a fake. UBeak's there, and there is Arch. But there's one more play to find. He has no choice but to commit to the bomb plant now, and he's going to make it. Wallbang not going to work out there. 19 HP for maeVe, and he could still do this, but he has no idea where the other player is. Nate's going to do 1 HP to him. He's found himself a good angle. The sounds will give the positions away with FaceCrack and his teammate, but they will win the round. Preparation move to 11. 3K for FaceCrack. Delaying the defuse so his teammate can pick up all the bounty, the booty he can. Booty means different things in the UK than it does in
booty
in the US.
Pirates would call booty as their treasure.
Goodies, yeah.
Their loots, their swag, could be their booty.
Yeah.
The quest for the biggest booty.
Yeah.
Was often engaged upon.
Have you ever gone on a quest for the biggest booty, Dan? Are you a big booty man?
Well, if it doesn't require too much effort, then sure.
well, all right then. If you want to know more about Dan and big booties,
just Google
follow
it.
DDK on Twitter.
Just Google it.
Or apparently Google Dan and big booties.
Indeed.
Or big booty, rather.
Wow, look at this trick. They're going straight up middle. Going for the push. They just contact playing the hell out of this. And the CTs are getting completely annihilated. They just walked up. They walked all the way. There's a hike. A leisurely hike.
A leisurely stroll through the gardens of the chateau. And it has led to this situation. So it seems Tricked can do to preparation what preparation enjoyed and imposed in the previous half. So you see the money. Preparation will be able to buy. Wait. What is UBeak doing? Is he going for... I thought he was... I don't know if he would have had time to defuse there, but there was a chance for him to slip past that player. But I don't think there was enough on the clock.
I don't think
but
so.
I feel like he wanted to go for a ninja, but he settled for the kill. So you see the buy from preparation. So this is a key round for them. It's a key round for both, in fact. There's actually, funny enough, both teams have two and a half players with some money, but they're pretty much going to be broke, whoever loses this round. So this is an important round to see who will have an opportunity, at the very least, to string some rounds together, thanks to some ecos or just crappy buys from one of the two teams. Trick to 4 players over towards 8, holding passively for the time being. Preparation with 2 on their side. But again, Patron he has an angle down B. So this is information for his team. This allows him to put more people closer to connector to rotate towards A.
Just slowing it all down once again. But going for the contact into A again. Into A long they go. That setup is going to be quite telling as to who wins this round, I feel. Ace tag in the drop zone. And the bomb actually, and most of the players making their way back to B, in fact. It's an interesting choice there from Tricked. B is going to be problematic with Patron right at the end of Plateau with the AWP. I feel like that is very make or break for preparation. Patron gets that those couple kills that he should in that position. Should all be over and done with, and there's number 1. They lost their man in drop zone as well. Oh, that's the bomb. That's surely the round done. 20 seconds left. The round is very done. They might survive with everybody, actually.
Yeah, that would be huge for preparation, especially because Tricked would be on minimal loss bonus. And it's an issue when you head back towards B, but you don't have anybody holding the plateau area. In that, if you don't have eyes there, often the CTs will have put themselves in very advantageous positions, and then you'll end up getting ruined when you head back in that direction, as we just witnessed. So Tricked now, they're going to be the one with the crap buy. It was an eco or a crap buy. They've chosen the crap buy, so let's see what they can do with it. These have worked out for preparation on their T side, and it's just about Bedlam and thriving on anarchy. We'll see if they can do that.
So Trick, they have not enough nades really to go for a solid set piece. I mean, couple smokes. I mean, you can get a nice little wall with those. Onto the B bomb site. Onto that B bomb site. But we still have the AWP on that B bomb site is El Patron. He is by the chicken coop currently.
The chicken coop.
And HUNDEN is going to be throwing his grenades towards the end of A long. So interesting, he's going to try to run a bit of distraction, try to play a bit of a lurk towards the A side of the map. Will his teammates... Looks like they're actually moving back now as well, so... I suppose, in reality, what all this does is just it creates additional confusion to preparation as to what's actually going on, because after seeing pressure on A from HUNDEN, there's nothing for quite a while. So... here we go. We've got Trick now moving up middle, looking for the play. 40 seconds left. Decent amount of time.
Yep, that's an important frag as well, because Arch could have got the jump on these players, and it would have been a triangle of doom with these other fraggers for the CT side, but that's 2 down now. And soon, Ubique will follow. He was already heavily tagged, and Patron's wondering what on earth has happened. Again, a crap buy works out for the T side on Cobblestone, and that's the CT loss bonus reset. And perhaps we can have a look at their money. Okay, they can still field a buy, especially if Patron saves his weapon here. He is on a long journey to the palace, but the princess is in another castle. This is the second round for the T side so far for Trick. So, I mean, that bodes well long term for preparation. They have a 3-round lead, soon to be 2. Oh, HUNDEN. Is there a boost coming in from the T's? Or are they just messing around in the corner? Okay. I thought maybe there's some kind of weird unknown boost. The way they're all running there was weird. But I guess they have to exit the bomb radius as well.
That'd be really cool. There's like a 3-man boost, like on overpass right there, just specifically to deal with that position. You get really next level.
That would be the best thing ever.
Well, it's a really weird game actually between Tricked and Preparation. I don't think either of them can find consistency. Tricked have a lot of we're over here, now we're over there type strategy on their T side.
Look at that. Look at this.
And
look at that.
So far it's had mixed results. Mixed results. 2-3 setup here from Preparation. Very volatile Oh, this first frag so important. Surely they can trade on the face crack, and now there's just one man on B. The rotation hasn't even started on A. There's one guy sitting in danger still, hasn't moved a muscle. So, oh, maybe now I should move and try to make my way towards B. Arch though, boom! Two quick kills, nicely done, but it's still going to be really hard here for the remaining two CTs coming in.
Smoked off the door position, HUNDEN's going to go for the plant. JUGi holding angles, smart smoke from JMqa. JUGi can take some pot shots through the smoke, so he still has to be careful about his advance. It is a gamble after all. HUNDEN almost forced from his position, but the Molotov won't go exactly where JMqa wanted it to. And there are Molotovs in return. There are Molotovs for days here. And there we go, HUNDEN finally forced, and JMqa will take him down. They know JUGi's around the platform. That smoke's not going to do it. They need to cross though. Tech9 coming out, close quarters. JMqa going for the pre-fire, also trying to entertain. And they'll finally get the frag there. Two players surviving for preparation. That is a very tough round for them to win. And again, the money situation continues to be dire for both sides. Just about managing to get the defuse there. 2 AWPs taken into the next round. Going to be big for the team. But with the money on Trick, perhaps they go for a fast play. They're going for the fourth buy. They're going for the fourth buy.
Yeah, that B rush is really likely in a situation like this. Or if it's not a straight up rush, it will likely be a B play after a delayed B play. So preparation should, in a round like this, they should have 4 players towards B, like in the majority of cases, for a good 30-40 seconds before they rotate one player back towards A. That's because you can expect that. You need to have the players there for the delayed B timing. Ideally, it's somewhat of a risk, but it's one of those calculated risks where this is the most likely play for Tricked in this position. And you can see that here is the delay from Tricked. And you can also see that preparation have over-rotated players away from the B. I shouldn't even say over-rotated. They've just rotated players towards A. I don't know if they have some weird read or something, but they haven't had any information on the map. So this is a complete gamble to do this. And they have such passive positions on A as well. So those players can't really flank. So yeah, now the delayed play comes into the B bomb site. Oh, so this is a bit of a mess for the setup here for preparation. They have to defend with 2 AWPs as well. It's very awkward.
There goes Patron, and that's an open B bomb site. And some nice weaponry for the T side as well. So indeed, it is awkward. And it seems Tricked aren't done with this game just yet. Not much that preparation can do in this situation, but turn tail. And again, it's another reset bonus. Lost bonus, but perhaps their situation is going to be worse going into the next round. Can we see the Mahanes, please?
I really don't understand why they did the positioning the way they did. After like 15 seconds of 4 on the B, they're like, let's put 3 on A now for some reason with no information. Just completely going for the big gamble there. Very strange indeed, especially with 2 AWPers. It's much easier to have one AWPer play, let's say, a little bit deep, or rather a little bit aggressively on A, and then have 4 people sitting on B. That way, when there's rounds like that, we saw Quick do it yesterday. Quick was always like pushing the A side of the map, whilst 4 of his teammates would stay on B for a good 40 seconds to prevent plays like that from actually having success.
That's Quick from FACEIT Nation,
yeah.
North American team. 2 rounds between these 2 sides, and preparation managed to eke out another buy. Again, just playing on the lead they have. So we've seen ropey buys from both these sides, but they said for both teams they seem to work more on the T side. And of course, you can play on the Bedlam on the T side, whereas you need the grenades and such. On the CT side, JMqa, that's an important frag that he doesn't get, and they know where the AWP is, so you have to wonder if he will rotate his position entirely. If he has a read that Tricked will be trying to avoid going into an AWP. Although they are quite static at the moment, Tricked. Being very careful indeed, not giving a single sound cue to preparation. Not wanting to give any clues as to what their intentions might be.
And preparation are doing basically the same thing. They're moving, well, they almost move FaceCrack into A there without the sufficient information. And you got to be careful with too much movement, because you can get caught out of position. You need a reason to move. from your positions. You can't just move willy-nilly with no purpose. niko's going to take down JUGi there, pushing forwards onto the A bomb site. There is still a player lurking on the ramp, though. It is Arch. He's picked up one frag. Now the hunt begins. They try to take him out. The bomber, though, is very far away from the site, and that is a big risk. I think the bomb even went down. Indeed, it did, and it's been picked up. And now it can finally make its way to the site. But that's going to be a slow plant. That's giving these CTs a big opportunity to catch players on the cross as they go for the bomb plant. maeVe, though, able to do the damage to get the double to close down the round. And that's going to be another one for Trick. So very backwards and forwards between these two teams, I must say.
Finally, we're going to have an eco round. It feels like it's been a while. Both these teams just been bringing out as much as they can. ECS tag on the Mac 10, which might suggest that there's a good read. Can we see the money very quickly? Yeah, so there's a good read that Preparation have no money. They're poor, they're broke, they are in poverty, they are below the food line. Can't think of anything else. jmqa goes down towards the A site, as you see there. Everyone else stacked towards B. That is going to pull one player away in JUGi, who's been good with the P250 so far. Tricked with 1:10 on the clock. And now Preparation, they're putting 2 people per site, but they're slowly moving over towards A. Slowly but surely. Because if there is a lurker such as ECS tag, if they run, then he will hear them run. He could make the call to his teammates and they can rotate back towards B. And now he's going to see that the site is clear. So we should see the bomb rotate indeed yet. They're starting to move towards B one by one. Slowly. Maybe too slow. And now what is the plan, Tricked? You're halfway to your rotation towards B, and now you're going to go towards A, where the stack is 3 players. This could be nasty.
Yeah, it's all gone a little bit wrong, hasn't it? But they should still be able to easily win this with the grenades at their disposal. Nice little molly there at the back of the site. It's going to force another CT out of position. Arch is being spotted. Somehow on the run, he makes the frag with the CZ, but that should be all that he has to offer. 13-13 between these two teams. And we're still no closer to really figuring out who is going to be able to take this one. Again, general inconsistency, I think, from both sides. But we are going to be seeing the AWP on JUGi again. Preparation, not really with a lot of money, and they are deciding to go for a tactical pause to work out what they do with their money. Because, I mean, no AWP, you can't get aggressive. It's really weird, actually, because Tricks have not really been showing any plays which are consistently like Preparation when they were on the T side. Well, Preparation were like, okay, we can beat you on A, we can beat you on B. There was some clear issues on both bomb sites. But here it doesn't feel like there's an easy issue to pin down for Preparation.
Yeah, it's a difficult map for both sides. Or difficult match, rather. Maybe more appropriate. And that is dire money. Interesting, though, that 2 of the 5 players have bought already. So maybe it's more about what the plan is, where they're going to put people and so on, and about their rotations than about their buy. And Tricked looks really good here. I do wonder if they will go for a fast play. You know, situations like this where the CTs are finally back on a buy, but it's a ropey buy, they don't have much money. You can sometimes see a fast play from a T side, so just try and break them immediately, try and breach. So it could be a fast one into B. But then maybe that brings variance to Tricked as well. If they think the slow game, they can drain the utility of these CTs and take that approach instead, then that might prove better for them. So decisions to be made by both sides, not just the ones calling the pause. This is a horrible situation for Preparation. I would not like to be here. I mean, it's pretty tense. I mean, it's an important game for both Tricked and Preparation. But it's a very knife-edge situation, more so for the CT side, the defending side.
Also important for Godsent.
Yeah, those 2. So be
mostly for Godsent.
Yeah, Godsent have failed to qualify for some other leagues, tournaments, lands. Currently playing in London at the moment. I mean Birmingham, not London. Birmingham infamous for knife crime, as is London in some ways. Not so much these days, but anyway, moving swiftly on. 13-13 preparation have some grenades, and they will hope that those are going to be the best grenades of all time, because utility from Tricked is at maximum capacity.
And the movement is there on towards B for Tricked, looking for those peaks. A slow approach from them. We get the flash in for a peek. That's always very nice. If your teammate flashes you in on top of the AWP angle, you get in there, exactly. Oh, allows you to get information or to take a position at the back. But the flash obviously makes teams wary that, okay, there could be a guy at the back now. And you can see they're checking that. maeVe, though, picking up the kill on towards drop zone. This is really hard now for Prep.
Arch heavily tagged. Only 2 players on a B-bomb site. Rotation miles away. There are problems for days for preparation. And now the charge comes in from Trick. So far, so good for you, Beak. Arch going to get taken down. He wants that low health, and that's an open site. That's it. That's the round over.
Yeah, this is problematic because, okay, so when you lose that first man, I'm always looking at the minimap and thinking, again, I've seen this time and time again. Whenever Prep lose somebody towards B, especially when they're playing this setup where they have got 2 guys on A long, and this is like quite late into the round. They've spotted nothing towards the A bomb site. They're just sat there. They don't respond in any sense. Like, one thing you do if you're not sure is you put one guy towards the connected doors at the very least, and then one guy adjusts his position to go further back into a more passive setup on A, so that your rotation is closer, and so that if they do go through drop, that you can help to cover the exit through the window through the connector as well with that player. Like, you need some movement there. You can't just not adjust at all when you lose one man. And then have like a 2v5 for your teammates who are on the B-bomb site. That's just not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool, man.
Because it's more or less saying, if they push A, we're going to lose. If they push B, we're going to lose.
You got to adapt there. Also, the other thing, in their position, when you've got worse utility and worse weapons, you also have to say, okay, well, we actually have to take a big gamble here. So you could just say, as soon as they lose a frag, they could rotate almost everybody, or even everybody there. And then let's say maybe you think about saving the weapons into the next round if that is not the play from the T's, after all. Like, but you have to take gambles in some of those positions too. So I feel like there's lots of different ways to play this, but it's a bit too static from preparation in how they think about the game so far on the CT side. The T side seemed a lot better, I think. As expected, I suppose, as a map of Cobblestone, a map that they picked as well.
So we have a take of the drop area being proposed by Tricked. But will they commit to it? Potentially some retakes coming in. Jockeying for position amongst themselves. And there we go. FACECrack almost getting flashed there. Second one will do the job. So that's the drop taken now for Tricked. So what is the preparation response? Again, they've got 2 players in the same spot towards A long. Not really looking for any info. And now we start to see a rotation with the footsteps. FACECrack has no idea what's going on. The bomb is down in an awkward spot now, and FACECrack is in even more awkward spot around the smoke, but that may help him out later on, unless they can find him through the smoke. Niko goes down, 3 versus 3, full rotation eventually coming in for preparation. Still 1 player towards the door, which is about to get smoked off. Problems for the CT side.
Yeah, slightly better. Could still be better though for preparation on that rotation, but 2v3, there's a chance now, but maybe not. They both get smacked down by tag, East tag, however you said. And Trick now looking to be able to close the map down. And I really felt like preparation was, I mean, they were leading this map, I think, in many ways for quite some time, but I think they made so many poor decisions on their CT side that, I mean, Trick didn't have the perfect CT side either, but preparation, I think they made a lot of poor decisions here that put them into this spot. Either way, it's going to be FAMAS, multiple FAMASs here to try to save the day, and it's Cobblestone. It's so annoying when you can't really take aggressive risks. And Tricked, they very rarely go into that A long setup. Although it's one of the times that they didn't pop flash the angles that you basically just have to pop flash every time if you're going to take it with multiple players. So there could be hope there for preparation. If Tricked don't have all their pop flashes in order, they might be able to use their setup on A long to great effect
4 players towards A for Tricked. And this time, preparation of a 3rd player towards A, looking presumably at the underpass, but also connects to him. Now he's moving deep. That's facecrack. Trying to move to an off angle. Tricked have the utility to push him from that position, but they're mostly towards long, where maybe this setup from preparation will finally pay off. And there's lots of warning shots coming in. I like this setup. Patron is going to be the first to peek. Oh, jmqa's giving his position away now. They were set up. Or maybe he's baiting. Maybe he's baiting. Patron, is he going to be spotted? No kills for him though. facecrack goes down. Now he's on his own. He's in trouble. The bomb's down. And that's just carnage over towards A long. 3 versus 2. We've got a full rotation coming in, but it's 1 by 1. Arch on the face first, and he is going to win the duel just about. 50 HP for him. He's a tag holding angles while his teammate plants the bomb.
I think there's a double there from JUGi. Pretty insane. Now, he's tagged. Great position. Oh, you've got to be careful. Take your time on those shots, man. That's it. Arch is dead. Just Ubeak. He knows exactly where Ubeak is. And it's going to be tough to get it out of that position. Bosh, there it is. Straight in the noggin. And that is going to be the map for Tricked. And they're going to move into their choice, which is Nuke, which is coming up next. But yeah, I mean, it's generally, I think for both teams, there's a lot of improvements that they can make on Cobblestone, especially on the CT side. But we'll have to see whether or not Nuke looks any different.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to Nuke. Always enjoy watching it. Well, maybe not always, but a lot of the time. People are at different levels in that. But after watching Echo Fox's CT side, I'm curious to see what both these teams have to offer. That's coming up after the break. We will see you back here shortly for Game 2 of this Best of 2.